up. I'm trying to find the one I like. All right. Well, there's this Oliver ant.
Someone else.
I'm gonna start it off a little early. Let's get rid of this. Whoa. What the crap? What the deuce even? I think honestly my webcam might be a little dirty, but I might be getting a new one soon. Who knows? Who the flip flop knows, really? Oh my god. Stream has started. I'm gonna waffle about for a little bit before I like really get going. We got 2 concurrents. Pretty good for the very start of the stream. For a second we had 3, and I was tempted to just say fuck it, start the stream, go. But I'm playing it patient, you know? I'm playing the long game. So I got a couple of videos, some of which are going to require some gaming. Oop. Don't need that one. Some of these videos are going to require some gaming. And honestly, I kind of just want to play Roblox Restaurant Sim. I think that would be fun. I think Roblox Restaurant Sim would be fun. Oh, what's going on? What the fuck? Oh, it's for Starfield. Anyways. Restaurant Tycoon. I think that would be fun. To watch. Maybe some Retail Tycoon. Who knows? We might get a little wild. We might get a little steamy. Okay, we're back. We're so back. We're so flipping back. Anyways, back to what I was talking about. What's really important. Restaurant Tycoon. Or Restaurant Sim. I don't remember what it was called. Oh. Restaurant Tycoon 2. Maybe Retail Tycoon 2. We'll see. Maybe even play something else. I don't know. But what I do know is that we have 4 concurrents. That's pretty swag. We have 4 concurrents and 4 likes. We have 5 concurrents and 4 likes. That means somebody, I'm not gonna name names, but somebody watching this right now has not liked the stream. I'm not gonna name names. Somebody hasn't though. And if that somebody is you, I think you should reconsider, and I think you should like the stream. Personally, I would like it. Oh, there we go. There it is. All right. Now we're free to start. We're free to start this thing. So, I'm gonna turn the music down a little bit more. We got 5 concurrents, I think that's enough to start segments. I think that's the most I've ever had at like the start of a stream, which is pretty flippin' swag. Then again, every time I stream, it's like I get 10 more subscribers, which is fucking wild. So odds are most of y'all probably new, or some of you. I don't know. Some of you are new, but just odds wise. But anyways, I think it's about time to get in the segments. I've been waffling for the past 7 or so minutes. Let's go. So, okay, let's go. Let me get a drink of water. Mr. Matthew Walsh is a frequent talking point on this channel. I love watching Matt Walsh. I pause. But I love watching Matt Walsh to make fun of him, and today we're doing that even more. Matt Walsh, 2 weeks ago at this point, made a video, called Obama's Pretentious Gay Fantasies Confirmed. If Obama is gay, it's pretty based, I think. You know? Gay Obama? Gay Obama sounds pretty based. But, apparently Gay Obama, not based. So, let's see what Mr. Matthew has to say about it, Mr. Walsh. And let's dig into it.
This is from the New York Post. Former President Barack Obama wrote of his own androgynous mind and making love.
Not only is Obama gay, they are non-binary, and I commend them for living their truth. Congratulations, non-binary Obama. What's like a non-binary version of Barack? Because Barack's already... I could envision a woman named Barack. I think it's an androgynous name.
Love to men daily, but in the imagination, according to the redacted portion of a now notorious 1982 letter obtained by the Post. So, we talked last week about this letter where Obama mentioned his homosexual fantasies, but at that point, that part of the letter had been redacted, so we didn't know what it actually said, and now we know what's in the actual letter. The more than 40-year-old letter to an ex-girlfriend recently resurfaced after Obama biographer David Garrow gave a long and winding interview on the one-time commander-in-chief. In regard to homosexuality, quote, this is a quote now, in regard to homosexuality...
You know, this actually makes, like, a lot of sense for Obama, like, being kind of homophobic at first. He was just self-hating. He's like Tyler, the Creator. He's just self-hating.
I must say that I believe this is an attempt to remove oneself from the present, a refusal perhaps to perpetuate the endless farce of earthly life. You see, I make love to men daily, but in the imagination. This is what Obama wrote to Alex McNear in November of 1982. My mind is androgynous to a great extent, and I hope to make it more so until I can think in terms of people, not women, as opposed to men.
Non-binary Obama. Non-binary Obama. Holy shit. Non-binary Obama is real, and they are coming for you.
But in returning to the body, I see that I have been made a man, and physically in life, I choose to accept that contingency. McNear, who dated Obama during his years at Occidental College in Los Angeles, later redacted these salacious paragraphs, which the Pulitzer Prize-winning historian Garrow hunted down and included in his book Rising Star. The letter is currently owned by Emory University, which doesn't permit it to be photographed or removed. Instead, Garrow's friend Harvey Clare transcribed the paragraphs by hand and sent them to the author. Okay, so I think there are maybe 2 takeaways here. There are no surprises.
Could they not have edited that out? Or, like, done a second take? Like, holy shit, I can't do a second take in a live stream. But, like, holy shit. Like, how long was this pause?
I think there are maybe 2 takeaways.
Like 3 seconds, 2.5 to 3 seconds. You couldn't have edited that out or done a second take? Is the Daily Wire like that strapped for money to where they can't afford like a 64 gig SD card instead of a 32 gig one, to where they have to go like, fuck it, one take, let's go.
Face here, there are no surprises. Nothing is surprising about this at all. But there are two takeaways. And the first, before we get to the homosexuality stuff, the first is that Obama has been a pompous tool his entire life. Again, not
True. And this has to do with anything because, like, Obama is kind of like arrogant, but okay. And what about it?
not a surprise, but that's a takeaway. My mind is androgynous, for I yearn to be released from the confines of this binary serfdom of constructed realities. Like, this is
Based Obama.
Amanda Gorman tier faux profundity is what it is.
It's not profundity, it's him coming to terms with their social spot in the world as somebody who is confirmed with their sexuality. Or not confirmed, confused about their sexuality. This is nothing to do with that, like in the slightest.
Like, this dude actually wrote the phrase, unironically, quote, perpetuate the endless farce of earthly life. He actually wrote that phrase.
Is it? Like, I'm sure. One second. Matt Walsh quote. The truth is sometimes uncomfortable, but it's always necessary. If you don't want to be criticized, don't put your ideas out there. The most important thing we can do is love one another. There is no such thing as a victimless crime. The greatest crimes are committed not by the ones who take up arms, but by those who are silent. When I started improv in Chicago, for every 5 teams, 1 or 2 would have been one woman. It's always wrong to directly and intentionally kill innocent and defenseless human beings. It's as simple as that. Like, come on. This is you, bud. That's you, bud. But let's get on Obama for maybe being faux philosophy pilled.
Anthony thing.
Fuck, this is the wrong video. Oh no, boom.
And ironically, in a certain way,
6 viewers but only 5 likes, like the stream, goddammit.
it's like, this is in a certain way the straightest thing he's ever done also, because it's like a desperate attempt to impress this girl. This is how desperate he is that he's writing stuff like this. This will impress her. Now she really think I'm smart. But the straightest thing is also extremely gay, because we also know that he confessed to his gay fantasies.
Why can't he just say Obama gay? Like, there's nothing preventing him from just saying Obama gay, but he has to you know, do the Evangelion thing, like Shinji's dad, and put up his glasses and be like,
Obama? His androgynous mind is confusing him and is making him gay.
like, he can't just say Obama gay, lol.
I just hope that the girl wrote him back and was like, "Dear Barry, you are at least 70 IQ."
Oh, Barry is super non-binary. That's a super non-binary name. They should go by that.
IQ points dumber than you think you are. But I think nobody ever told him that in his entire life, which explains everything that happened after. If you want some positive news in the culture war, well, since Roe v. Wade was overturned, the left has lost their mind, making abortion their official sacrament. The pro-life efforts, which...
One second. Like, I know this is just an ad. Abortion approval rates. I know this is just an ad, but I still want to go into it. Oh, would you look at that? Would you look at that? It's over 50% by a decent margin, and it's trending upwards. That's interesting. There's a lot more people on the left than I thought there were. Pretty based.
which are more important now than ever, are booming. You heard that right. Despite the narrative, pro-lifers didn't go away. They increased in number.
Did he just fucking shove this into the middle? Pro-life news. Take Obama is gay. Just pro-life. Obama is gay. Here, let's skip this.
But then again, we get to the second big takeaway, which is the gay fantasy. And this is, now it's confirmed. It's confirmed at the very least that this guy was having homosexual fantasies in his early 20s.
I wish I could just ask the follow-up question. I wish I could just ask one question, and that is, and I just want to ask that question. I just want to ask the question, and like, I think there's a lot of things Obama did that was bad. I think drone striking innocent people is a bad thing. I think perpetuating the U.S. Surveillance state of Afghanistan is bad. I'm not looking for the word surveillance state. I'm looking for another word, but that's the word I came up with. I think Obama did a lot of bad things. Being gay, that'd be pretty based. That'd be pretty based of him, I think.
If you want to theorize that, well, it doesn't mean that he ever acted on them or that he was actually, that he ever was an active homosexual. That's one theory.
An active homosexual.
I don't find it terribly plausible. But this is another one of those things that, I mean, for years and years, you had many people on the right.
They couldn't have done a second take here? Holy shit, this is so boring.
Talking about this, let's say predicting this about Obama. And we were told it's just rumors, it's nothing, it's ridiculous, conspiracy theory, conspiracy mongering. And even though it's not a conspiracy at all, well, in a certain way it is. So like there's actual conspiracy here to cover up this. This was written, this is documented, his homosexual fantasies were documented.
I love the difference in left-wing criticisms of Obama versus right-wing criticisms of Obama. On the left, you have, well, he should have calmed down on those drone strikes. And, well, he should have gotten our troops out of Afghanistan and done legitimate attempts at state building. And, well, maybe the Iran nuclear deal could have been better. And, well, we could have done more here. We could have reinvested more into our public infrastructure. And we could have reinvested more into the worker. And we could have fortified progressive values. But then you have the right, where it's like, he wore a tan suit. His middle name is Hussein. Are you sure he was born in Hawaii? It seems pretty gay to me. Like, it's just two different realities and it's two different value sets. I do not see how a person like Matt Walsh can just go outside and exist in a Walmart. I don't see how that works.
And then they were redacted by this university. So there is an actual conspiracy of cover-up here. And for so long, it was dismissed as nothing more than conspiracy theory. So really, we have to chalk this up as yet.
Yeah, because Obama is gay, that means everything else the right says about him is correct. He's Muslim. Barack Obama's Muslim. He's Arab. Barack Obama's Arab. He's black. Oh my God.
Another quote-unquote conspiracy theory that has been confirmed, as they almost always are. And this is another one. Hey, YouTube.
And that's the exit. That's the cold exit. Matt Walsh, not a very smart man. We all know that here. Again, I pointed out earlier, I like the duality between left-wing criticisms and right-wing criticisms of, calm down on the drones, and he's gay. There's a very vast difference of seriousness here, where we have the left who is trying to better the world, and we have the right who is deeply unserious, and it's just like, yeah, isn't he gay and black? Don't clip that. But it speaks to how vastly unserious everything on the right is, and how vastly different of a reality that they live in, to where I don't even know how these people wake up in the morning and like go to Target. Sorry, they don't go to Target anymore. They go to anti-woke goods incorporated. Okay, that's the end of segment 1. It looks like my mic is a little quiet. Looks like my mic is a little bit quiet. I might try to fix that from voice mod. Let me see if I can do that. Where's voice mod? We got 5 viewers, but nobody in the chat. Damn. Atrocious. My god. Everything looks good for input. Ooh. Oh, okay, yeah, we're good. We're good. Anyways, we're taking a little break before segment 2. I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all a sneak peek. Whoa, it's another Matt Walsh segment. Because I love these so much. I'm a bit of a Matty head. We've already been going for 30 minutes. Dope. Pretty cool even. Maybe even a little swag. But I think it's about time. Oh hey, we jumped up to 7 concurrents. Hello people. Why is everybody in here all at once? Oh, okay. We're just jumping around. We jumped back down to 5. All right. Okay. But I think it's about time for segment number 2. Let me see. Let me look at the comments. Oh my god. They're really rocking for him. Holy shit. Whoa. They are really... Oh, this dude wrote a fucking essay. A college thesis. Alright guys. Time for segment 2. Let's get her done. Let's get her did. What can I say? I'm prophetic. I was right about Oliver Anthony, and every single person who left a comment on that video, except one guy who said I was right, was wrong. Sorry, liberals. I'm sorry. Sorry, rightoids. It slipped out my mouth. Sorry, rightoids, but you were wrong, and I was right. Recently, a clip of Oliver Anthony's has surfaced of him saying diversity is our strength. And then another one has surfaced of him saying that he fucking hates Republicans. Which, I agree with him there. I fucking hate Republicans. I still do stand very hard by my belief that Richmond, north of Richmond, is of course a Confederate dog whistle, Confederate battle cry. But maybe I'll look at it with some more nuance, you know? Maybe Matt Walsh will help with that. So let's take a dive. The only thing that I've really gotten from Oliver Anthony is that he's politically incoherent. He's like Shoe on Head. he's like the worst parts of Shoe on Head. Anyways, damn, we got 5 people here while Zan is still going. That's a strong turnout. Anyways, let's see.
Well, there's this Oliver Anthony thing. Last week, Anthony, of course, the guy that's behind the Richmond, north of Richmond song, he put out a video, I think it was late last week, maybe on Friday, that got a lot of attention and really seemed to sort of divide people on the right. There are 2 camps now that when it comes to Oliver Anthony and especially this video. Let's watch the video first and then we'll talk about it.
If there is anything for me to address at all with you, it's that it's the one thing that has bothered me is seeing people wrap politics up into this.
Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Come on.
I'm disappointed to see, like, it's aggravating seeing people on conservative news try to identify with me like I'm one of them. It's aggravating seeing certain musicians and politicians act like we're buddies and act like we're fighting the same struggle here, like that we're trying to present the same message. I've had
I'll commend him on this. He has a very strong grasp of class consciousness, or faux class consciousness, because he isn't lower class. He isn't middle or working or poor. He is very rich. He is a landowner. He he owns a ranch, I believe, or at the very least he owns a large amount of land. So he has a very good grasp of how to tug at working people's values, I guess, working people's strings. If you don't know the strategies that people like him, who are faking being a part of your whole thing, if you don't know the strategies that people like him use, you get wrapped up into it. And we saw a lot of this in the comments of the last video I made about him. You can go down to the comments, you'll see a lot of people threatening me, a lot of people just being like, you have long hair. So you can really see that there.
a lot of people reach out to me, and I've tried to be polite to everybody, and I've talked to hundreds of people the last 2 weeks. But it seems like certain people want to just ride the attention of this song to maybe make them their own selves relevant, and that's aggravating as hell. The other thing that I find aggravating is, well, you know, like, it was funny seeing my song in the, it was funny seeing it at the presidential debate, because it's like, I wrote that song about those people, you know? So for them to have to sit there and listen to that, that cracks me up. But it was funny kind of seeing the response to it. Like, that song has nothing to do with Joe Biden, you know? It's a lot bigger than Joe Biden.
I'm going to assign him a political belief. He is an ANCAP. He is an anarcho-capitalist. I'm just what I read off of him. He's an anarcho-capitalist. I'm calling it right now. God damn it. As more comes out about him, I really think he will come out as an anarcho-capitalist. And I will stand by this until I am proven wrong.
That song is written about the people on that stage, and a lot more too, not just them, but definitely them.
Okay, now Anthony has come out and clarified his political stance since that video, kind of restating that he's a centrist. Wait, and that he said it's...
Is it just a TV screen? Is it not like a green screen thing? Are they that cheap? Holy shit.
The song's not about Joe Biden, but it's not just about Joe Biden, he meant. It's about, you know.
Also, when he says he's a centrist, I do not believe him for half a second.
It's bigger than Joe Biden and all of that, which, of course, the problem is bigger than Joe Biden. But what he says in the video is interesting because it seems to have divided conservatives. And there are some who say that they like the guy even more now, that this just makes him even more real and authentic and anti-establishment and all the rest of it. And it's all great. And then there are others who say
Anti-establishment landowner.
that Anthony is trying to distance himself from conservatives, that he's basically throwing his own fan base under the bus to appease the left.
Fan base. This happens every time. It's I called it in the last video I made. These right-wing people, especially places like the Daily Wire, they get people. They say you did this thing, and you are going to be our spokesman for the next 2 months. We saw it with Kyle Rittenhouse, just as I said in the last video. We saw it with him, and then old clips come of him saying, oh, diversity is our strength, and stuff like that. And they're like, whoa, slow it down, mister. And they forget about him. And now you have, like, that one alpha male guy running for Congress who did a picture with him. And I think that's the last time anybody on the right has associated with him, as far as I know.
And they're upset about that. I'm not really in either camp exactly. And here's the way that I see it. First,
whoa, nuanced Matt Walsh.
To Anthony's credit, or in his defense, I guess, he never planned to become nationally known overnight. He obviously wasn't prepared for the fame because you really can't.
I kind of call bullshit on this. Basically, it has been kind of exposed that there is a manager that basically does a lot of astroturfing campaigns and is very related with the Daily Wire. And that manager has picked up Oliver Anthony and was showing Oliver Anthony's music to a lot of these right-wing places. So I don't believe that for half a second.
Be prepared for it until you have it. And for him, he went from like very not famous, right? He went from very obscure to famous in 24 hours. And that doesn't happen very often. And even if it
AstroTurf
happens over the span of, if you climb up the ladder of fame over the course of years, it's still, you get to a certain point where there's no guidebook that you can really read that will tell you how to navigate it.
Yeah, you'd know, Nazi diaper baby Matt Walsh. You would know.
There are a lot of people, there are publicists and consultants and whatever else, whatever people that claim that they're the experts, and some of them are good, do have good advice, and others don't. But even being able to navigate that and know who you should listen to and who you shouldn't listen to, again, there really isn't. It's just you feel like you're on your own. So
yeah, you should listen to these people specifically because we told them to, and you feel really disillusioned. That's why you should come to us and listen to us. You should listen to us instead because you're disillusioned and you have no direction. That's why you should listen to me, Mr. Matt Walsh.
So he's dealing with that, and that's bewildering and overwhelming, and we can only imagine. Also, he's a singer. He's not a political pundit. He's not an analyst. He's not a talking head. He's also not a philosopher. Right? He's a musical artist. And that's all he
We're really stretching the term artist here.
Wants to be, which is fine. That's good. That's all we should ask of him. Okay, we shouldn't want musicians to be political pundits. And if a musician comes
I mean it'd be a pretty useful tool for whoever gets the first political musician first. It it was pretty useful when let's see. I don't know, man. I think I don't know.
Why can't we talk about them without getting kicked off of YouTube?
I don't know.
Now, I'm not saying Hitler was a good guy.
I think the first the first party to really harness their powers on this has got a real weapon in the making.
Along that has and he has a message that resonates with people on the right, it's very much a mistake to take that guy and insist that he become a Fox News pundit. That's the worst thing you could do. We don't need to have him defending some party line, right? You don't need musical artists to do that. You don't need artists in general.
I mean, you kind of do. It's nice to have people who contribute to culture pushing your line. It certainly helps a lot. And the reason that Matt is kind of conceding the art world and conceding music and conceding art is because conservatives never make great art. They just can't. Like, it's fundamentally against their ideology to make great art, and that's the reason that Matt Walsh is just conceding this here.
To do that, they shouldn't be focused on a party line. They should just be, they should be engaged with their art.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's right. You're not Hitler. You're not a Nazi. You don't deserve to be called that and demonized.
Well, I see good things about Hitler also. The Jew, I love everyone. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler.
That's the reason Matt Walsh doesn't want right-leaning people, right-leaning artists to express their views, is because that's what happens. That's what happens when that happens.
And expressing themselves that way. So that's on the one hand. On the other hand, look, nobody cares if Oliver Anthony is criticizing Republicans. We all do that. Nobody criticizes Republicans more than conservatives. It's our favorite pastime. We all do it all the time. That's.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, Matt Walsh. Thing is, conservatives don't believe shit. They'll tell you they do. They don't. Conservatives don't believe shit. They just push a line. So you have very little infighting. Go to the left, they're punching everywhere. Fucking, we're punching left, down, up, to the right. Mostly to the right, but we're punching left a lot too.
That's all fine, okay? So I don't care about that. But just to be totally honest, when he says that he's aggravated by people in, quote, conservative news, I guess there are various ways of interpreting that, but that would seem to me very much to be a reference to the people who gave him a platform to begin with.
Oh,
people
shit. Is he disowning him?
People who connected his song to other people. Now,
Matt Walsh goes up to Oliver Anthony. He opens the door to the house and he says, "Be gone. Be gone, my son." He says, crying, as Oliver Anthony scurries out the door. "Be gone."
Connected with the song because it's a good song, and that's all on him. He made a good song. But they heard it to begin with because of conservative media and conservative personalities.
So he admits to astroturfing. Boom. Hey, I'm proven right once again.
And influencers. Prior to that, Oliver Anthony had an audience of basically no one on YouTube. And that's just a fact. You know, he wouldn't
I am again right.
have an audience without the conservative media personalities that
Astroturfing them.
he is now aggravated by. As many of you know, I'm a true grill master. I
damn
love
it.
grilling up just about anything. Thanks to my friends at Cinch, my grill is never empty
This one
with
doesn't have
propane.
chapters.
Because of this,
Fuck.
I can have whatever I want, whenever I want, on the grill. 40daysforlife.com. That's 40daysforlife.com. And look, I'm old-fashioned, I admit. I tend to think, like a thank you is perhaps more in order than expressions of aggravation. I don't know. But what really rubbed me the wrong way most of all is not even that. When he says musicians, he throws musicians into that. And he says, I'm aggravated by the musicians who are pretending to be buddies with me. Like, which musicians are you referring to? Because only...
Hold on, where is it? These musicians, Matthew.
without getting kicked off of. I'm not saying Hitler was a good guy.
These musicians.
Only a very, very, very few prominent musicians ever acknowledged that the guy even exists. I mean, John Rich is the only one I could even think of. There might have been a few others, but and John Rich was not pretending to be Oliver's buddy. He was trying to help him get his music out. Almost all the other musicians just never said a single word about Oliver Anthony at all. So, and the few who did were complimenting him and supporting him, and he's saying that he's aggravated by them, which is interesting.
Okay.
And finally, he says that he's aggravated by the fact that the song was played at the Republican debate. Well, you know, an interesting fact here is that Fox called him and asked for permission to play it at the debate. And we know that because the Fox anchors who were the moderators have said that. They said they got permission. But even if they didn't say that, we already know, anyone who knows how these things...
Matthew, you know how these things work. They don't call him. They don't call him directly. They call his manager. They call his management company. They say, can we use this? Can we have rights to this? And the management says yes. You know how this works.
Things work, already knows. You know, when I heard it, playing at the debate myself, I immediately knew that Oliver Anthony approved that because of copyright law. And they're not going to just play the song without permission. I mean, they could, but they're probably not going to. They're going to get permission. And they said that they did. So he approved the song being played and then said he's aggravated by it, and then said he doesn't want the song politicized, yet he approved it being played at a political debate. So it doesn't make a lot of sense. So that's where I'm at here. I do think he seems to be playing sort of both sides of the fence a little bit, and I don't mean politically. I don't care that he's a centrist. Centrism is incoherent. It's never made less sense to be a political centrist.
True. That's why you should be on the left, always.
Than it does today, when the two sides are so fundamentally opposed on the fundamental realities of life. There really is no middle ground on these issues. An issue like, for example, is a woman, can a woman be a man or not? Like, there's no middle ground. It's just, you can't, it doesn't exist. So you really do have to choose a side. You just do.
A woman can be a man. What about it, Matthew? Triggered much?
Period. So centrism makes no sense, but I don't care about that. You know, if you're a musician and you say you're a centrist, whatever, who cares? That's not the point. It's what could be perceived as throwing people who've helped and supported you under the bus. That's the thing I don't like. But then again, the guy doesn't have a PR firm helping him through this. That's the point. So it is what it is. That's what we're left with. That's my take. Hey, YouTube, thanks for listening to the show.
That's it. All right, Matthew Walsh. He spoke a whole lot of Japanese. If we're being honest here. But yeah, he's not very smart. He never has been. That's about it for this segment. That is the end of segment 2. So now it is on to segment 3. Because that's the number that comes after. This this YouTube channel is great. So I'm gonna pick out a couple. I'm gonna pick out a couple. We're gonna watch a couple. I'm gonna move on to segment 3. All right. So recently, those of us who use YouTube Shorts, aka not me, but also sometimes me on accident, may have seen this person, Anti-Prophet, who claims to not be a prophet. However, seems to speak a whole lot of Japanese. He simultaneously is like, no, don't listen to me, I don't know anything. And then it's like, boom, 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 boom. Speak, 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 speak. Listen to me, 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 listen to me. Pick a side, buddy. But we're gonna be picking out a few, some interesting titles. And we're gonna be looking at them. First, one that really stands out to me is origins of homosexuality, and then right after that we got abuse is your responsibility. So that's my thoughts on Animal Farm seems pretty spicy. Anyways, let's go. Oh shit, it starts off muted.
Discomfort with aggression and horseplay as kids. This is
Fuck. What? Hold on. How do
I was in a relationship. Camille Paglia has this idea that men become homosexuals because of a discomfort with aggression and horseplay as kids. This is born out of being too
men are gay because they like other guys. That's what I think. That's what I think happens.
close with their mother and idolizing the feminine, and then basically either over worshiping the feminine or becoming too familiar with it and as a result becoming indifferent. However, another
That's I feel like these people need like a gay person that isn't a part of the gay community to exist at them. Just exist at them. Exist in their direction. Because when they say gay, they think gay community. Like, there's a difference between a gay person and a gay community. You can have straight people in the gay community. You can have gay people in the straight community. It's really a connection based on shared mannerisms. Like, certain patterns of speech, certain hand thingamajiggers, certain stances, certain ways of dressing that can align you with the straight or gay community. Of course, this says nothing about your sexuality. It can align you more feminine or it can align you more masculine. Of course, this says nothing about your sex. It's really just fucking stupid. And that being said, this dude dresses gay as fuck.
Another guy named Hero MJ takes it even further. He
Also, his hand movements, gay as shit, dude. Fucking, you know? Look at that. It's gay as fuck.
posits the idea that men now become gay because they see through the absurdity of modern life. Back in the day, in order to prove their masculinity, men would literally conquer physical territory. It was about conquering the world.
They would also conquer other dudes. They would also conquer other dudes. They did that a lot too. You would know if you paid attention to history class.
And dominating others in the process. But now, in the year 2023, there's nothing left to conquer. Because
There's a couple of things to conquer.
he's smarter
Like other dude.
than everyone else and sees through the nonsense. This young
Yeah. People become gay just because they're too high IQ. They escape the matrix and they become gay as shit. That's how it works.
man that we're talking about once again distances himself from masculinity because of its absurdity and again begins to
I do think masculinity is absurd. That being said, I'm not a gay man. But masculinity, pretty stupid. Methinks.
eroticize it as a result. Now, who knows if any of this has any merit to it? However,
It doesn't. You're literally just presenting a crackpot theory by like shit nobody's ever heard of, while dressing and moving gaily as shit.
it does touch on something
Look at that fucking. And then the shirt. Come on, tell me he's not in the closet.
we all instinctively feel and think that the recent rise in LGBTQ relationships likely has something to do with how fucked up and hollow the modern world really is.
Okay, and that doesn't really say much. I have a personal theory, and I'm very welcome being proven wrong. So I think it is more to do with population density. In other mammals, we see populations with a high density, and there we get a population with more homosexual behavior. We get gay wolves in overpopulated wolf packs. We have bonobos who just fuck everything. And we have transgender lions. We have stuff like that. I think it is more to do with the assumption or the gathering of roles. And some people have to fill certain roles, and some people have to fill these roles. Some people have to fill those roles. It's just how it is, you know. I think it's more about on a mass biological scale more than it is about, oh, society is fucked, bruh. I think it says more I think it's a more interesting view, and it is a more realistic view to view this biologically, as it is a biological behavior.
I was in a
Anyways,
Camille Pog.
next video we got is abuse is your responsibility, which I'm sure will be a good one.
I was in a relationship where my ex-wife physically,
Oh, he's divorced. That explains a lot.
emotionally, and sexually abused me. However,
That being said, that's pretty bad. Pretty bad to do to somebody.
in her childhood, she herself had been physically, emotionally, and sexually abused to a much higher degree than anything she ever did to me. After we divorced, one of the things I struggled with for a long time was where to put my anger and where to put the blame for everything that happened between us.
If you're so fucking mentally stunted to where you can't just think and be like, maybe I should channel my confusing feelings into something creative, or maybe I should go to fucking therapy, and you're like, you're just letting the anger build up. Fucking retarded, dude.
In realizing how useless this is, however, you realize that ultimately finding someone to blame isn't what's going to fix your problems. In fact, the only real question
True. You have to solve your problems yourself. That being said, the problem being shoved on you for no reason is not your responsibility. The responsibility you have isn't with the abuse itself, it's with how you handle the abuse. It's with how you respond to it. There's no sort of anything that is about abuse that inherently is your responsibility unless you're the one doing the abuse.
that should be asked is this: who can and should take responsibility? And both of
The person who did the abusing! Dumbass!
those parts of the question are absolutely necessary, because everyone who's fucked you over in life should take responsibility. But there's only one person who can take responsibility right here in this moment, and that's you. Ultimately, I was
It's fucking stupid though, is it? It's fucking dumb.
the one who chose to marry a mentally ill addict. And you're
What? Is this just doomerism? Is this just like marital doomerism? Ugh. I chose to marry this addict because they have so much pain. Gah. Fucking shut the fuck up. You know, I hate to say man the fuck up, but man the fuck up. You chose in your framework. You chose to do this. You can choose to get out in your framework. Of course, I, as a reasonable person, recognize that maybe there's a little something more to this, and maybe there are societal standards that can maybe push men into getting into relationships when they are not ready with people who are also not ready. And you know, maybe we should stop that instead of being like, it's actually your fault you got abused. Maybe we should stop forcing people who aren't ready into relationships. How about that?
in your own life, when you take a look at the mistakes, yes, maybe you in your naivety chose to make the missteps you did. And while you and I can't change the mistakes from our past, we can take responsibility and choose to make different decisions moving forward. I was in a relationship.
I'll look for more motivational content. Who are you motivating, bruh? Like, I can't imagine a happy person watching this. I can't imagine somebody watching this with a smile on their face, like uplifted, ready to be like, yeah, can't imagine this uplifting anybody. It's not motivational. Fucking, you're just posting doomerism. Fucking cringe.
Camille Paglia has this idea.
Oh my god, I don't know how to use YouTube Shorts. I'm stupid. We're gonna watch one more. Nature versus... Oh yeah, my thoughts on Animal Farm. That's one we were gonna watch.
I read Animal Farm for the first time this week.
Animal Farm... I mean, I liked it. It was fine.
The book, the animals on Animal Farm start off by singing this song called Beasts of England, which basically says the world of man will be overthrown, the relationship between master and servant will be equal, and the utopia is on its way. Basically a communistic hymn. And in the book, the neighboring human farmers make fun of the song, saying that the animals are ridiculous and it will fail in their revolution. But privately, they deeply fear that the Animal Farm will inspire other animals on other farms to start thinking about overthrowing their masters as well. This was a brilliant allegory for communism in the 20th century. Because
And then, that of course, you have to recognize with Animal Farm, you have to recognize the and then, but he can't recognize the and then because he's fucking stupid and doesn't know about character progression.
Because while the UK and the US were publicly laughing at the idea of communism in the USSR, privately they were terrified. Otherwise, they wouldn't have taken the steps that they did all over the world to stomp communism out. And the reason they were terrified is because deep down, every capitalist knows that there is an inherent problem between the employer and the employed. If we were to, for whatever reason, create a different man-made fiction and flip the establishment on its head, this would absolutely terrify the elites because they would understand the power structure in the world would completely collapse, fuck them over in the process.
True. Okay. You know, he kind of cooked here. You know, he's it's a very surface level. It's a very surface level understanding of Animal Farm, but it's an understanding that is somewhat correct. Man, I'm really surprised. We ended on a good note with this guy. Wow. Wow. Oh, damn. I'm kind of surprised. We ended on a semi-decent note. Of course, let me finish for him because he's too stupid to. Animal Farm, the problem with it, or the problem in the plot, is the ruling class, the pigs, the leaders of the revolution, get greedy. They lack principle. They become pretty much they become Stalin-esque, to where they are pretty much just Stalinists. And they become masochistic freaks. They become dictators. They become totalitarianist, and it leads to the exact same system being reinstated. It's a pretty clever commentary of totalitarianism's function and the way it uses other things as an excuse to forward itself. Of course, he's too stupid to realize this. He just thinks, communism bad. And he thinks of this within a capitalist framework of, what if we flipped the thing on its head, but it was still capitalist, we can't have anything else. He's too stupid to think past that. I think that's where, he really just ends. You know? He almost was right. He was almost right. You know? Good on him. Hopefully he transitions into that type of video, but Lord knows he won't. Boom. 13 minutes. That was longer than I thought it was going to be. Here's the start of the long stuff. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
This is probably going to be a 2-hour segment. A 2-hour seggy. So I'm just gonna move the thingamajigger over here. And boom. Also gonna play Roblox. Because I want to play Roblox. I'm also gonna pause this. Unfortunately, I won't have access to chat, I don't believe. That sucks. Anyways. I'm gonna play... Ooh, should I play Retail Tycoon? Or Restaurant Tycoon? I think it'd be more interesting to like just start from the ground. Okay, I'm just gonna do Restaurant Tycoon. Okay, let me start up the thingamajigger. And let me get this up. Let me turn this down. It's already at pretty close to 0. But yeah. Alright.
How many skit you?
So recently, I'm gonna fill y'all in on a little controversy that has come up. Recently the YouTubers SuperMega have found themselves embroiled within a little controversy. A former employee of theirs by the name of Don sexually assaulted his at the time partner, I believe, Lex Updog, And SuperMega, it self-admittedly handled it poorly. They said, hey, we could have handled this a lot better, and we didn't, and we apologize for that. This, however, came along with a lot more than it really should have been. If it ended at that, it would have been pretty cut and dry. They fucked up, they apologized, they took action to help out the victim, and that's really, you know, all I can ask for sometimes. Whoa. But sadly, this has this has become a chance for the right to do what it does, and this has become a chance for kind of scummy people to, what the fuck, to be scummy, and they have used it to pretty much just put their own personal problems with SuperMega out to air, and kinda lie, kinda tell the truth, a nice little in between, you know. So, and I hate the response to this. I really hate the responses I've been seeing, because it's all been right-wing fucking losers. And then also Destiny, who isn't on the right, he's more just kind of stupid. And I don't want Destiny to be the only marginally left-wing person that has covered this. You know, I wanna cover it too, because I think that the left could learn a lot. Not necessarily about, you know, the situation, but I think the left could... Why is it not letting me cook? I think why isn't... Okay, whatever. I think the left could... Fuck, should I start over the segment? Should I start over the segment? You know, I'm starting over the segment. I'm starting the segment over. You can't do shit about it. Oh my god, I was in the middle of making a dish. Damn. So, yeah, we're starting the segment over. Fuck you. So recently, the YouTubers known as SuperMega have found themselves within a good amount of drama, where basically they employed somebody by the name of Don, who sexually assaulted his then partner at the time by the name of Lex. They took action, they fired him. Admittedly, it took him a bit long to fire them, and self-admittedly, they fucked up pretty bad. There was a lot of other things along with it, but that's the main thing. And I'm mainly covering this because I really hate the response that this has been getting, where it's a bunch of fucking right-wing losers, and then also Destiny, where Destiny isn't on the right, but he's just kind of stupid. So I think I thought to myself, I should probably cover this, and that's why I'm here now. I'm gonna be covering one of these like right-wing drama channels videos, then I'm gonna be covering a left-wing drama channels videos, because, you know, we're all about equality here. We're all about equality. These videos are both pretty stupid. I've only watched one of them, and that is the Nick is Not Green video. I watched it on my way home, or I listened to it on my way home from IKEA, and I was kind of mad in my car listening to it. So let's listen to this one. It's fresh, so it should be fresh in my head. Let's go.
Comedy skit YouTube channel SuperMega is recently...
Calling them a comedy skit YouTube channel is kind of kind. I would more put them as a variety channel that focuses mainly on Let's Plays, but, you know.
been the victim of a coordinated op to destroy their credibility and reputation publicly, and I'll be spending the entire video proving that one statement to be true. Matt and Ryan are the two guys running the SuperMega channel, and they've been accused of covering up a sexual assault by OnlyFans girl Lex Updog, homophobia.
I don't see why it's important to note that she has an OnlyFans. I do not see what that adds in the slightest to the argument, and I think we're already seeing how fucking stupid this argument's gonna be just by Just by him saying, OnlyFans, OnlyFans.
And harassment by ex-employee Leighton, racism by YouTuber Ethan is online, and much more by another YouTuber, Nick is not green.
The first claim is fully substantiated. Yes, Lex was sexually assaulted by Dawn, the at the time channel artist and her at the time partner. And the other couple of ones, the other ones after that, are pretty much made up. So I'm probably gonna be doing most of my disagreement in the first part of the video.
That you may know. The thing is though, all these people I just named, Lex, Leighton, and Nick, Ethan, are all shameless liars who spread provable false shit about SuperMega. But for some reason,
is he like a truther to where it's like, Dawn didn't even sexually assault her? Fucking the thing that nobody ever has said regarding the situation.
that part of the story never gets mentioned. Lex claiming Matt didn't believe her when she told him about her assault and that he didn't show her support at all, only for text to leak afterwards showing this to be a lie.
They said they believed me and then gave me no support. That's just not what that means. I had no support from them.
Here are the text messages right before and right after that call, showing that I was supportive.
Leighton claiming he was harassed by homophobic jokes that he wasn't comfortable with, only for text to show afterwards that he not only was fine with it, but he also encouraged it, even making the same jokes back at them too.
As a gay man, I can say that I was harassed at SuperMega. The gay jokes that they would sometimes go with would go way too far.
Here are screenshots from several occasions where I made sure Leighton was comfortable with these types of jokes, to which he always replied yes, and even in one message said it would be weird if we stopped.
Ethan claiming Matt said the N-word to people with no basis or evidence at all. And Nick being the worst here, literally outright saying he doesn't give a fuck about finding the truth to the situation here, and will accuse someone of being a
Yeah, Nick is pretty fucking stupid here. Like, he's undebatably the worst person here. Except Dawn. Dawn is the person who did the sexual assault.
Rapist and SuperMega for covering up a sexual assault with no evidence whatsoever aside from his friend's fucking word.
Of course, I'm gonna take the side of a personal friend of mine when she comes out with a story about her own sexual assault. This isn't like an online, like, normal thing where I look at all the facts and I make a decision. No, my friend was assaulted and never felt like she was able to be heard. And obviously, I believe her word. I don't really understand where people are coming from when they call me a liar with an agenda.
You literally just admitted that you will accuse someone of sexual assault on your public platform of 700,000.
He sexually assaulted her. Dawn sexually assaulted Lex. That is undisputed facts. Everybody knows this, you fucking tard.
People with no evidence, just your friend telling you trust me, bro, and
with evidence actually. And even if there isn't evidence, Don has admitted to it himself. He said he did it. What more evidence do you need?
You really have the balls to wonder why people would call you a liar with an agenda? And by the way, he just said this a few minutes before.
But a lot of this stuff just ends up being personal shit that we can't really prove, and it's not gonna hold as much weight because of that.
So you use the defense of, hey man, it's he said, she said, personal shit at the end of the day, when making a point against SuperMega, but when it comes to your friends, you don't. You just take their word as gospel and believe every word they say to accuse someone of rape with no proof. Okay.
Where, you know, there is proof. Dawn admitted to it. But go off, King.
Well, Nick, I actually have a friend who told me that you raped them last week. What do you suggest I do here, man? Because I know I have a responsibility to not spread false shit on my public platform of thousands of people, but they're my friend and I really just want to make sure their voice is heard. I'm sure you can understand. So yeah, I think I'm going to take your advice and believe them with no evidence at all and make a public video saying that you are in fact a rapist. Nick is not green. I also don't think it's a coincidence that every person involved here is friends with each other and all came out with their own stories in a coordinated time. With Lex first dropping her video to kick it off on July 27th, then Leighton streaming his story the next day on July 28th, then Nick is not green releasing his video the next day on July 29th, and Ethan doing a celebratory live stream that SuperMega is losing thousands of subs because you all bold-faced lied about them to destroy their career. I mean, they just uploaded
when you know what? Like, yeah, fucking Nick and Ethan are liars. Everybody knows this. Are you gonna actually substantiate the claim of the sexual assault didn't happen? You're not? You're just gonna say it didn't? Okay.
a video saying they don't know if they will be able to continue running the channel due to the recent events and might quit because of this. This is actually fucked. These guys got smeared off of some bullshit and might lose their job because of it. Plus, there's even evidence showing that everything was good between Lex and SuperMega up until they fired her friend Leighton. And then suddenly once that happened, she cut contact with them and released her video saying how poorly SuperMega treated her and even covered up her sexual assault. If that was truly how you felt about them though, why were you completely fine with them months after they apparently treated you so bad and even covered up your assault? Until one day that all changed once they fired your friend and suddenly...
Like, she went, if you watched her video, you would know she went over this. She has a very unhealthy way of coping with these types of situations, to where, you know, it's not very healthy. It's not very good. To where she just kind of becomes passive. She addressed this in the video. You know, you would know if you watched it, but you haven't.
You now have a problem with them. All of the evidence points to this being a vindictive op that this friend group coordinated to try to take down SuperMega. Their real motives are so clear and transparent. But I'm getting ahead of myself. This was just the intro to get you guys invested and hooked in the story. But let's start at the complete beginning of all of this and fully explain this.
Yeah, I felt like a piece of meat because I was just useful for like gaming.
So this whole story begins with Lex Updog releasing her 2-hour and 16-minute video, My Experience with Don Doctor and SuperMega.
Don Doctor. That's how little he knows about the situation. He doesn't know how to say Don Dur. That's how little he knows. That's how little he researched. He just wants to take his fucking little narrative and be like, sexual assault good, actually. Sexual assault good. Sexual assault very good. He just wants to take that narrative and run with it. He knows so little about the situation because he's a drama monger fucking retard. That's it.
On July 27th, and the video is that long because for the majority of it, she rants about completely irrelevant petty shit that basically all just boils down to how her and SuperMega fell out as friends. They have
Okay, but what about the sexual assault though?
problems with miscommunications blowing up small issues into bigger
Okay, but what about the sexual assault though?
ones, which I'm sure every human on the world has fucking experienced. My personal favorite being when Lex complained about how SuperMega didn't show up to her birthday party.
My
Okay, but what about the sexual assault though?
birthday was a couple days after, and pretty much no one came to it. And then someone else's birthday was like 2 days later, and everyone was there.
This being included in the same video where minutes ago you were just talking about how you were sexually assaulted is nuts. There's a lot of stuff like this that I could go on and on about, but for the sake of keeping things
Do it then. Do it then. This is a 30-minute video. You have time.
clear and direct as possible for this video, it just sums up to them falling out. But there wasn't any huge notable shit either party did that was
sexual assault
that crazy here. But the important things here is that Lex claims her boyfriend at the time, Don, sexually assaulted her, and this is her side of the story.
Don sexually assaulted me. He like physically was like forcing me, like attempting to physically force me to give him oral, and the only reason why it didn't work was because I like physically like pushed him away multiple times, and he kept telling me like just do it, and like multiple times while he was like trying to force my head down, and he's like way bigger than me. I don't know, I was really freaked out after that, so eventually he let me go. But
however, Don released his account of what happened here, and it was much different in regards to what happened during.
Well, of course the sexual abuser is gonna be like, no, I didn't sexually abuse you.
November 2021. This is my side to what happened. Lex and I were invited over by Matt to stay over at his place for a week. We had been intimate since day one, but on the third night, I'd asked her for oral sex. She at first said no because she had a cold sore. Later, I asked again, and she said yes, but to be careful not to be too rough. During the intimate act, I'd pushed down on her head, after which she recoiled and told me I was being too rough. I then profusely apologized, and we ended up watching TV and going to bed after. But the response that Lex got versus Don from the general public was much different. When Lex gives her side of the story with no evidence, by the way. Damn, this was really tough to read.
And then when Don gives his side of the story with no evidence, by the way.
Sorry, Lex. Sending you positive vibes to help you through this. We are here for you. I'm so sorry you had to experience this. Thank you for being so brave to speak out. You deserve literally a million loving words and endless praise for holding yourself up this long. Now it's time to rest and heal. You deserve to be happy and loved the way you want. Come back when you are better and when you want. But when Don gives his side, shut up, rapist, game end yourself. Seek professional help, seriously. You deserve anything and everything that's coming coming to you. You don't deserve forgiveness. You disgust me. Deactivate and turn yourself in for SA. Your point of view is nothing, dude. You don't deserve any response. Regardless of how you go forward, you will never be anything but a rapist. Whoa. Okay, did I miss something in Don's story? Because you would expect replies like this from someone who just admitted to being a flat-out rapist. But that's not at all what he said. This guy asked his girlfriend for head. She said no earlier in the day because she had a cold sore. So then later on, he asked again. She said yes. And then while they were doing it, he pushed down on her head, which she didn't like. And then he apologized and stopped. Where is the rape? He didn't wear her down or anything by asking her like 20 times until she was finally just fed up and said yes. He asked twice within a day. Is that abnormal? Have I been coerced and raped into sex whenever a girlfriend is asked more than once? And in regards to pushing down on her head, this is made out to seem much more severe in writing, but isn't that a completely normal, common thing to do when a girl is giving head? That's literally the meme head motion when people say, suck my dick. And on top of this, he even says when Lex told him to stop, he stopped and apologized. This sounds like a completely common, awkward sexual experience I would be willing to bet the majority of people have gone through. So why is Lex's side getting praised and Don's getting shit on? Well, people just simply chose to...
Because one is more believable than the other. And when the other side acknowledges that this thing happened, which it did, it 10 million% did, is a thing that happened. When both sides acknowledge it, you know, you're more prone to believe the side that, you know, is more reasonable and more believable, and that is the side of the you know, of Lex, who was sexually assaulted by her at the time partner.
Pick a side and to destroy Don's life with baseless accusations that he sexually assaulted Lex. Now, at the end of the day, I'm not saying anyone is guilty.
Baseless accusations that he admitted to.
You're innocent here. I don't know what happened, and no one ever...
Oh, so you're not saying that anybody is guilty or innocent, but you're just saying that Lex is a lying piece of shit and lied about getting sexually assaulted, and that Don is innocent and that he did nothing wrong? Interesting.
Ever will, aside from the two involved. But usually what we find in these he said, she said...
Oh, and apparently you also
said situations is that the truth probably lies somewhere in the middle of both people's accounts of the story. So to ruin someone's reputation with baseless allegations that will now follow him for the rest...
So, can you please fucking pick one? Are they baseless? Or are they, somewhere in the middle? Are they baseless? Or is it fucking... or did he sexually assault her? Pick a fucking side. You made a video essay. You made this video. You probably have a script or at least an outline, hopefully. You fucking put this in your script or your outline, and you didn't think, maybe this is a little contradictory? Fucking, you're retarded.
Rest of his life, preventing him from work, destroying relationships he has with people, and shattering any credibility he has over something we don't even know is true, is some of the scariest mob mentality.
Yeah, we don't know it's true. It's just both sides have said it's a thing that happened. We don't know if it's true, though.
Shit you'll see. I mean, we just saw the public evisceration of Johnny Depp's career a few years ago, only for now the...
Johnny Depp, the abuser. Yeah?
Truth to come out about a lot of these things that Amber Heard spread false shit about him. And it's especially interesting to see people be so quick to treat Lex's word as if it's scripture, considering in the same video she spread provable false lies about SuperMega.
I don't believe you. You're not trustworthy people anymore. So to say that you feel a certain way is not trustable.
As I said earlier, Lex says a lot of irrelevant shit in this video about SuperMega and Don that isn't even worth covering, but the...
Oh, that's not even worth my time. Fucking, it's a 30-minute video. Cover it.
The important thing here is that she claims they covered up her sexual assault.
After they've, like, pretty much covered up my sexual assault.
And if you're wondering how SuperMega covered this up, this allegation is as incoherent as it sounds. She doesn't substantiate this at all and didn't make one point to prove this in her video. She did mention...
Actually, it's, as you said earlier, the truth is somewhere in the middle. But you're not very good at nuance, are you? So basically what happened, for anybody with a reasonable brain, SuperMega privately talked to Don. They privately fired Don, and they let other people know, like saying, hey, Don did this. You should probably know about this thing that happened.
A lot of unrelated petty
because he did it. And they let people know privately. but they didn't do it publicly. So that's where the misunderstanding comes in about it being a cover-up, which I don't think it was. I think it was a well-intentioned move that was executed poorly. But you would be able to come to that decision if you had any nuance in your fucking lizard brain.
Shit, where at worst, SuperMega might have been bad friends to her sometimes, but absolutely nothing to prove that they covered it up. I mean, this is just straight out of her ass. And even they were stumped on why she said this.
We never took any action to cover up a sexual assault, and we never tried to cover Don from any consequences. We removed Don as our channel artist, and we cut contact with him 100%.
And as I showed in the intro, Lex boldface lied about SuperMega not showing her support when she told them about her assault.
I told my friends, and instead of telling me they didn't believe me, they acted just like they didn't, and without saying it. And that's just as bad. I had no support from them. They said they believed me and then gave me no support. That's just not what that means.
Here are the text messages right before and right after that call, showing that I was supportive. I was not completely callous like it was made out to be.
I had no support from them.
But this seemed to be Lex's tactic, as you could tell from earlier, to throw anything and everything at the wall to see what sticks. From little things such as the office being too dirty, to huge shit like them trying to help her abuser, Don. She continues to lie though, next claiming after months of Lex staying at SuperMega's building rent-free. Eventually, as they began falling out as friends, Lex claimed they kicked her out cold and made her homeless.
Said they did nothing but helped me, and then gaslit me about it and made me homeless.
Which this again is a lie, and she voluntarily left on her own choice.
We did not throw them out. We did not make them homeless. Here is a text message where they're talking about leaving the office. Y'all have certainly gone above and beyond.
Of course, she almost definitely felt a lot of pressure to leave from them, and I do know that there was a experience, there was a talk between the two parties and said, hey, when are you leaving? They definitely pressured her to leave, but to say that they made her homeless is, you know, a stretch.
Beyond with your generosity and allowing us to craft.
And you would be able to come to this conclusion too if your brain had any nuance in it. But instead you view the world as ones and zeros because you're fucking stupid.
For as long as y'all have, and we'd hate to overstay our welcome any further than we already have.
She also has these really weird moments where she brings up very personal shit about SuperMega's friend that committed suicide, as well as bringing up that Matt cheated on his ex.
Daniel, their friend Daniel, Matt's like at least twice in front of me, separate times we'll hang out with him, has called Daniel a coward. So no, they don't care about suicide.
This really hurt to hear because this is simply untrue. That experience affected me and Ryan more than anything has ever affected us in our lives.
A girl that Matt cheated on his girlfriend with. Matt's ex that knew Jim first got betrayed by Jim, and everybody pretty much knew except for her.
How is this relevant? I have no clue. How else am I supposed to interpret this, aside from it just being blatantly character assassination and continuing the pattern of throwing anything at the wall to see what sticks to try and cancel them? I think a very telling comparison here is to look at Matt's leveled mature take on this falling out between the two versus Lex's.
The thing that really plagued the situation was lack of communication, miscommunication. All around it was a pretty weird vibe, and I think all four of us could have acted more mature during that period.
True.
But we failed to communicate. Here's a text from Lex in a group chat acknowledging that they had been, you know, distant towards us, but it was a two-way street and it was miscommunication.
Basically saying, hey, we both made mistakes in the situation and miscommunicated, but life moves on and it's not that serious. However, Lex, on the other hand, decided to publicly try and destroy their reputation over this petty shit, when in reality, both parties did wrong and made mistakes leading to their fallout. However, something SuperMega never did that she decided to do is straight up
I see the Nirvana record in the background of this video, of this dude's video. How the fuck does this dude listen to Nirvana and think, yeah, I relate to that? How the fuck do you listen to a song like Polly and be like, yes, I see, yes, I see. He probably hates Polly, is the, the funny part.
Lie about them multiple times.
Why would this band make a song about a sexual assault? There's no, there's nothing to substantiate this.
And make a video video trying to destroy their career. Matt even shows texts of Lex being two-faced towards him, being very cordial and friendly, showing that they worked out any problems between the two months later. But of course, this all changed as soon as SuperMega fired Leighton.
Since last summer, I assumed that my relationship with Lex was much better. For example, here's several texts I received from Lex between November of last year and February of this year. Good luck tonight, Matt. Heart emoji. I'm in Nashville, but I'd like to try to come to a show before tour is over. We should have a cookout when we're all back in town to celebrate. I said, thank you. We'll party hardy soon. Guess who lives like 5 minutes away from you now? It's me. Hope you're having a good day. Then on my birthday, she texted me, happy birthday, Matt. I love you. Hope your day is great. I thought that after I apologized to her last July, things had smoothed out. And I think you could see why I would think that. But that communication ceased around the time that we fired Leighton, who is a close friend of hers.
So you were good and friends again and worked out all your issues that happened months earlier, even asking them to hang and have a cookout. But the minute your friend gets laid off by them, everything changes, and now you're acting like those past issues were never resolved between you two and make a video saying actually how horrible people they are. You were fucking friends with them a few months ago until your friend got laid off. This girl's a complete snake bitch. How are people not seeing this? It's right in your face how two-faced this girl is.
Happy birthday, Matt.
Yeah, it's her fault. She was sexually assaulted. Like, both these things can be both be true. Like, fucking, you live in a binary world where there's no nuance because you're fucking stupid.
I love you. Hope your day is great.
A few moments later.
They've like pretty much covered up my sexual assault.
I love you.
Covered up.
I love you.
Covered up. I don't believe you. You're not trustworthy people anymore.
If you don't believe me still, I'm sorry. I'm not lying. I have no reason to lie.
Now Leighton is an ex-employee of SuperMega who was fired for not performing well enough at his job, and ever since has been on a vindictive campaign to try and ruin their credibility publicly for months now. First putting out a tweet accusing them of homophobia, and would talk shit in Twitter spaces and replies constantly accusing them of mistreating him. However, none of these attempts were successful until the day finally came when SuperMega was already getting a ton of heat from Lex's video. Literally the next day on July 28th, he goes live for 3 hours with a full bullet-pointed script going over every small thing that he felt SuperMega did wrong to him. So not only on the face of this, the motive is entirely disingenuous and so clearly is just trying to piggyback off of Lex's recent allegations to make it about himself and boost his own story jumping on the dog pile. But on top of that, it's very much like Lex, he just straight up lied about them numerous times. He claims he was harassed.
Leighton is a known liar. Lex, not so much. Keep in mind, you are the same person that uses Lex's OnlyFans as leverage on, you can't be sexually assaulted because you do an OnlyFans. How about that? Yeah, I don't trust a single word you say.
By homophobic jokes that SuperMega would make towards him, and that they went too far and made him uncomfortable.
I can say with confidence that I was truly harassed. As a gay man, I can say that I was harassed at SuperMega. The gay jokes that they would sometimes go with would go way too far.
But Matt shows text proof of them checking in with Leighton multiple times, and him responding saying that he's completely fine with it, and even encourages it.
Here are screenshots from several occasions where I made sure Leighton was comfortable with these types of jokes, to which he always replied yes, and even in one message said it would be weird if we stopped. In this message, Leighton says he sees no issues with the jokes. Here he says he feels more comfortable around us than anyone, and I said, real talk, we absolutely love having you as a part of SuperMega. You've completely revolutionized our company. Leighton responds by saying, I love all the gay jokes you guys throw at me, and I said, you're a crucial member now. If they're ever too much though, just tell us. And he said, I'm so fucking happy to hear that. I fucking love working with you guys. Nah, you guys have never offended me. I think Justin is nervous that it'll come off as homophobic, but I love you guys and the gay jokes. It would be weird if you guys held back, LMAO. Here's another instance where I said, also legit, if we're making too many gay jokes, please tell me. We're always fucking kidding, but I get it if it gets too much, haha. He responded by saying I looked like an F slur. I said, okay, perfect response, LMAO.
So what changed, Leighton? You lost your job and have nothing to gain from them anymore. That's what's changed.
As a gay man, I can say that I was harassed at SuperMega.
He continues lying through his teeth though, next claiming that SuperMega made him extremely uncomfortable with the crude jokes they would make exposing themselves around the office.
Matt yells from the office in the back room that he might as well show me his dick and balls because I'm gonna see it anyways. So he goes, hey Leighton, and I turn around, the dude's dick and balls are out, and then he puts them away, and I'm like, Matthew. And then, like, everybody laughs kind of stuff.
But come to find out, he would do the exact same shit, even flashing his cock and balls to Matt and Ryan while recording a video.
Leighton also said that we repeatedly made him uncomfortable by exposing ourselves to him around the office. It's true that we did do a lot of crude jackass-style bits around the office.
Like, with this stuff, it really just seems that SuperMega needs an HR person to be like, hey, maybe don't do that. You know? They just need an HR guy. Like you shouldn't really be doing that stuff around a workplace because it can become a gray area, you know?
Office, and that's apparent in our videos too. But if Leighton ever felt uncomfortable by any of that, he never showed it and he never brought it up. I find it a little ironic that he complained about this, considering, for example, in December we were recording a podcast when he came in unannounced and showed us his cock and balls.
Late 20s, Chuck. Hey, Leighton.
Hey. Whoa.
Somebody's putting on
Do you see his balls?
Leighton, you want to come take a seat?
Do you see his balls? I don't think it's appropriate for the podcast. You wanna wrap yourself in a towel.
Yeah, I could really tell you had a big problem with this and it made you uncomfortable, man. And you know, you can call this weird and inappropriate to have this lax of a relationship with an employee. True. That's completely fair, and personally, I'm not really a fan of the, hey, look at my literal cock in your face type of humor either. But at the end of the day, it was clear they treated this work environment more like a group of friends that all took part in it, that all cracked jokes at each other. And for Leighton to retrospectively act as if he was traumatized and harassed by this when he did the same shit, especially to say this now after being fired, it just makes all of his motives so transparent of just being a disgruntled employee that's going to say anything to try to discredit SuperMega, despite if he actually felt like he was harassed or not. He's gonna say it anyway to try to take them down.
Even though they would make jokes about things that I would never joke about.
Do you see his balls?
I would never joke about.
Balls?
I'm not lying. I have no reason to lie.
But the funniest part of the stream was when he tried to call out Ryan for transphobia and misgendering his partner. The thing is though, Leighton didn't know that Ryan's partner was fine with being called any pronouns, and instead, he decided that he was going to assume himself. So Leighton misgendered the same person he's trying to call out someone else for misgendering here.
Ryan McGee openly misgenders a trans person in his life that he cares very much about behind their back. I can't tell you how many times I would hear Ryan McGee say, I'm gonna go home to my boyfriend, or I'm gonna go fuck this guy. But it broke my fucking heart. Literally their fucking partner is misgendering them all the fucking time. It makes me so fucking mad to see just blatant transphobia.
You know, you're right, Leighton. I hate to see blatant transphobia too.
This partner is such
the funniest part is the person making this video is almost definitely transphobic. Like I would put good money on it.
Just sweet person. I didn't know them well. I don't think they ever liked me. So we just weren't ever close.
He even self-admits he didn't even know them well. This is such a bad look. He's really looking for anything to throw at the wall, and even when he does that, he fucks it up. And funny enough, he released an apology about this, but didn't release an apology about all of the other blatant lies that he told about SuperMega. These people are disgusting. During my stream, I told a story of how I felt my ex-bosses misgendered someone behind their back at the office. I had no idea that this person identifies as gender fluid. It wasn't my place to assume someone's gender and pronouns. I should have checked with this person before I spoke to easily clarify their feelings. What a fucking joke.
It makes me so fucking mad to see just blatant transphobia.
He continues to lie though, next saying that SuperMega was looking for any reason to get rid of him and fire him, when in reality, he himself suggested leaving due to his poor performance. So he very well knew the reason why he was fired, but of course is just trying to embellish the story as much as possible to try to paint SuperMega out in the worst light.
Matt and Ryan were looking for any excuse to fire me.
Leighton himself actually suggested leaving SuperMega prior to being terminated. So when he stated on stream that we were looking for any reason to fire him, this simply isn't true. Here is a text he sent to me and Ryan in the week leading up to his termination. I'm sorry I messed up so much with my position. It's not being harsh. I know it's the both of your company, and all of this makes the two of you look bad. I could step away from the merch stuff if you guys feel like I'm not doing enough for the role. I'm sorry I've messed up so much. I 100% understand if you guys are ready for me to leave SuperMega and let someone else take care of my responsibilities. It's not fair to you two that I keep screwing up. So yes, as you can see, Leighton was aware of his performance and the issues that were taking place with his job, and we were not looking for any reason to fire him. We did not want to fire him.
There's so much petty shit I could go over from the stream too, like Leighton weirdly bringing up SuperMega's friend who committed suicide out of the blue, claiming they made fun of him.
Matt and Ryan make fun of Daniel for killing himself. They make fun of him for killing himself.
And then logs were leaked of him even talking shit behind his friend Lex's back, but I think you guys get the idea. This guy's a complete lying piece of shit with a personal vendetta to destroy SuperMega ever since getting fired. And it seems like the pieces are starting to align here. After they initially fell out, a few months later, Lex and SuperMega rekindled and became friends again for months, but then she completely cut contact the minute Leighton was fired. So why would Lex be friends with SuperMega again for months if she was apparently treated so bad by them? And then at the coincidental same time her friend was fired, retrospectively look back.
She addressed this in the video she made. You would know if you watched it, but you didn't. So you don't know.
On her and SuperMega's relationship and make a video lying that they treated her worse than she was. I think what really happened was that Lex and SuperMega had their falling outs like how friends do sometimes, but then made up afterwards, putting the past behind them, even planning cookouts, all up until Leighton was canned, and then he went and talked a lot of shit to Lex about SuperMega, resulting in her eventually cutting them off, and then Leighton convincing her that she was treated a lot worse than what really happened, getting her on the fuck SuperMega train, which then eventually resulted in her making her video. Because why else would Lex suddenly change?
Yeah, not sexual assault. That didn't play any part of it at all.
Change her mind about being friends with SuperMega after working out all of their past issues with each other. But then out of the blue, all the same things that was resolved now became ammunition to attack SuperMega for, and to embellish a story and create all of these lies to paint them out to look in the worst light. It was Leighton getting fired. That was the start to this entire thing, and made the difference between a normal story that isn't public of just two friends falling out and eventually rekindling and becoming chill with each other again, versus this huge personal vendetta to try to take down their whole career. All the evidence points to this being the case. The timing is just far too perfect. And then of course they dragged along their big YouTuber friend Nick is Not Green to make a video blowing up this situation, getting it the attention they need to put the final nail in the coffin.
It actually already had plenty of attention, but go off, I guess.
And of SuperMega.
Someone that I'm personally friends with, someone who goes by the name Lex or Lex Updog online.
The literal next day after Leighton's stream, Nick is Not Green releases a 36-minute video called SuperMega is Full of Horrible People. And throughout this video, he presents Lex's allegations as not allegations like they actually are, but instead 100% truth and absolute fact.
And that's the one thing where with Nick, I'll be like, okay, yeah. Of course, he's going to believe his friend. Why would his friend lie to him? You fucking dumbass. I'm sure when your friends believe something, or when your friends say something, are you like, I don't know about that one. No, you're not. Because you're not fucking stupid. You dumb bitch.
That first night, Don sexually assaulted Lex. They have a predator in the same room as them. You hid the sexual assault of a friend of yours. I think him and Matt are both pretty despicable human beings for letting any of this happen.
He flat out calls Don a predator, a rapist, and says SuperMega covered up a sexual assault and protected a rapist with no evidence at all. He also claims his motive in making this video.
Actually, there is evidence. With that being said, the evidence is pretty misguided. There's nothing wrong with saying that SuperMega handled this poorly. There's nothing wrong with saying that. But you can't say that because you exist in a binary world where everything is ones and zeros because you're fucking stupid and you lack any sense of nuance within your worldview. So you can't say that. You have to say SuperMega GOAT. You have to say SuperMega best YouTube channel ever, and they did nothing wrong because you can't exist within a world of nuance.
Video is just to innocently lift up the victims' voices and to make sure that Lex's voice can be heard.
My main objective for this video is to lift up Lex's voice and allow her to be heard about something that she felt unsafe talking about for a very long time.
But then he spends half the video going over completely unrelated shit that has nothing to do with Lex's story to try and make SuperMega look worse. He reads Reddit posts shitting on them, going over over Leighton's stream full of lies, in addition to covering one of Matt's exes, complaining about her hookup with him.
Matt actually cheated on a long-term girlfriend of his very recently. Matt ghosted Morgpie after she asked him to hang out on September 10th. Matt told Morgpie that he was bragging to all his friends about hooking up with her. Seems like Matt Watson is a 14-year-old boy, and he looks like it too.
What the fuck is this? How is this even relevant?
And my favorite post right here says, rape apologist gets what he deserves. And it shows Matt getting the absolute shit beaten out of him. Let's just let it play a couple more times. We can keep watching it. My main objective for this video is to lift up Lex's voice.
5 minutes later.
Let's just let it play a couple more times.
That's a super.
I don't really understand where people are coming from when they call me a liar with an agenda.
And
that's a super funny fucking clip. I don't know why this dude is being so anal about this clip. Funny as shit.
In his second video on the topic, he just flat out admits to believing in Lex's word completely, simply because he's friends with her. Just watch this. That's
a pretty decent reason to believe somebody, because you're friends with them. Pretty good reason, I think. Me personally. I guess that's just me though.
Unbelievable how he flat out just says this without realizing how retarded it is.
Of course, I'm gonna take the side of a personal friend of mine when she comes out with a story about her own sexual assault. This isn't like an online, normal thing where I look at all the facts and I make a decision. No. My friend was assaulted and never felt like she was able to be heard. And obviously, I believe her word.
This isn't an online normal thing where I look at all the facts and I make a decision. Yeah, that really just came out of his mouth when talking about rape allegations.
And obviously, I believe her word.
Completely shameless, just admitting he will use his platform of 700,000 people to call someone else a rapist with no evidence as long as his
so yeah, that just happened.
His friend says so. Incredible.
All I really want out of this video and out of this situation is for the victims in the story to be heard and to have a voice.
You know, you say you're all about victims, you know, you're all about lifting up the weak's voices and giving them a platform to speak on, but it's not true.
I'm all about victims.
You stand up for your friends, you stand up for women, and anything that your political alignment agrees with. But
that's so funny considering that you made this video. That's so fucking funny. You stand up for your friends? That seems pretty virtuous to me. You stand up for women? That seems pretty virtuous to me. You stand up for your beliefs? That seems pretty virtuous to me. You're moving me to Nick's side, dude. Because you're fucking stupid. You're a bit retarded, and it shows, and this video needed a little more time in the lab.
But you don't even know who the victims are in this situation, so I don't know why you're saying
the victim is Lex. You dumb bitch.
Victims. You stand up for baseless accusations if your friend says so, and will call a random person a rapist, even though you have no proof. That's what you stand for. Don and Lex have completely different accounts of what happened, but you don't care. You just chose to pick a side and said one side is absolutely true and another side is absolutely false, with no evidence, baselessly accusing this guy and ruining his life, victimizing him, ironically, for how much you care about victims. You just fucking made one.
They're just really, really dumb, and they don't really deserve to have the company and the team and the platform that they have with the way that they've handled it.
This guy really has the balls to say someone else is dumb and
yeah, I really don't think that SuperMega had handled their company in a very good way. And you know, you should be able to critique that if you existed in the real world where two things can be true at the same time. SuperMega can be a poorly run company, which it was and is, and at the same time, you know, Lex can be sexually assaulted. God damn. Fucking
it doesn't.
How many times have I said binary worldview throughout this whole thing? Somebody give me a counter.
Deserve their platform for mishandling a situation.
But I don't really see why in a story that you otherwise think is true, Lex would suddenly lie about these things that are very serious. Again, I would watch the video for yourselves and see where you fall in it, but a lot of this stuff just ends up being personal shit that we can't really prove, and it's not gonna hold as much weight because of that.
When talking about SuperMega, oh, you know, this is he said, she said bullshit that we'll never know the full story of and can't prove. But when talking about Lex, I'm so sorry, Queen, that Don raped you. I believe every word you say. Here, tell me what you want me to do. I'll make a video. I'll do anything.
Matt does make a lot of...
You say that like this isn't the same situation. So which side are you on? It's still pretty unclear. Like, you could have made a better video. Holy shit. Could you make it... Is it possible to make a worse video? Fucking, who knows? I haven't seen one.
Interesting points in his apology that we will talk about today. But I think that this claim that he kind of ends his response with is extremely in bad faith, and it makes me question his true intentions with all of the claims he's making.
Oh, so you question the credibility of someone's word after they make a bad faith point and lie. I wonder where I've seen that before. Well, with your own logic, Nick, I must question the credibility of all things Lex, Leighton, and you have to say, since you are all proven liars.
But I do think people were a little bit too quick to come out and support Matt and Ryan just because they agreed that they were pieces of shit in some of these circumstances.
He's seriously criticizing other people for jumping the gun and supporting SuperMega without...
Yes! That is a thing that people can be critiqued on. Fucking, your parasocial relationship with SuperMega has nothing to do with a person's actual real-world relationship with their friend. You dumb bitch.
Without knowing the full story. Now he's the nuanced guy who's looking at all sides. The same guy who made a fucking video.
The fucking crazy part about this is I hate Nick is Not Green's video. I think it's terrible. I just think this video's worse. I think it's just overall worse.
Saying that SuperMega covered up a sexual assault before even hearing their side of things. I'm gonna fucking lose it. And then a few days later, Lex and her boyfriend Ethan is online, fire up a celebratory live stream that SuperMega has been losing tens of thousands of subscribers, even putting up their live sub count on the screen to show how it's slowly declining because of them spreading false information, lying about their name, and
now, a person with a nuanced worldview who is capable of actual critique would say, Lex was probably pressured into this by Ethan. Lex probably didn't really want to be there. You know, or let's say Lex wanted to be there. Well, Lex is a pretty bad person, but it's very unfortunate that she was sexually assaulted. But you can't say that because you don't have any real beliefs. You just have binary.
Doing a coordinated op to try to fucking take them down.
Yeah, there's a new website that gives live counts of YouTube subscribers, which is pretty awesome. SuperMega lost like how many thousands of subscribers? Like 30,000 already? Almost 40? It's funny. That's right. Don't forget it. Don't wear it out.
They're gloating in their victory, and you know, they won. As unfortunate as it is to see, they succeeded 100% in their goal to destroy SuperMega. They lost over 60,000 subscribers, and ever since released a video saying that they don't know if they will be able to come back to the channel after this. And while all of this is happening, these four have a great big smile on their face.
And I hope that people can see that there is a personal vendetta that is being blown up here and used.
With every lie, there's always a little bit of truth mixed in to make it believable, and that's exactly how this friend group took down SuperMega. They played off of real events and problems they had with them, but embellished what had happened to the ultimate extreme, making things seem a lot worse than what really occurred. The full timeline of this op against them has been Lex falling out with SuperMega, rekindling as friends a few months later, resolving any past issues, even planning cookouts together, but then, as soon as Leighton got fired, Lex cut contact with SuperMega. Leighton accused SuperMega of homophobia and harassment for months on Twitter, but it never was received well. Then, Lex released her video, spearheaded with her abuse story, to get as many sympathy votes as possible to make her accusations against SuperMega of covering up her assault go down way better with the audience. Then Leighton fired up a stream the next day, then Nick is Not Green made his video the next day after that, and after they successfully ruined their credibility, they celebrated their downfall live on stream. They take no shame in outright lying about people if it means they get their end result. This is the worst and most obvious cancellation campaign.
Okay, he's just gonna say the same thing 40 different times. A person with a real worldview, you know, a real person that really exists, would be able to acknowledge that, you know, these are some pretty bad things. You know? Some bad things happened. Maybe some things were misconstrued, maybe some things were exaggerated, but some pretty bad things happened nonetheless. And since you don't have a worldview, you don't go outside, you can't recognize that. Please just go outside. You know? It's good for you. There's the sun out there. It's pretty good. But yeah. I don't know how many times I can listen to this guy say the same thing over and over again. So I'm just gonna cut him off about a minute early. Oof. That was something. You see, you got 50 minutes. Ooh. It's 11 and I got work tomorrow. So I think I'll save. Well, I'll definitely get around to the Republican primary eventually. Like that'll something that'll that'll eventually happen. Even if I am gonna be late as hell on it. But thank y'all for coming out to the stream. We peaked at like 8 viewers, which is pretty swag. Yeah. Sorry for not streaming more frequently. It's just kind of hard to sometimes. I work, I have school. Sometimes it's just a lot, man. And sometimes I gotta take care of shit. So I'll try to stream more. No promises. I'm trying to stream Friday nights. Is really the goal here. Streaming on Friday nights. I'll get it. I'll get more stable with it eventually. So yeah. Can I hire more workers before I go? Oh, that's cool. Anyways, I'll log the flip off.